This video is brought to you by ncix.com. Great technology, selection, and service. Hello everyone, this is Dmitry with Canucks, and there comes a time when I get super excited about a potentially awesome chassis, based on specifications and first impressions, to only have my disappointment levels kick in by a pile of small overlooked details that really take away from this very promising and an almost perfect chassis. And with that foreshadowing intro out of the way, let's take a look at the Thermaltake V51, priced at $120. And this price range is a bit risky considering the new standard Fantex set with the N2 Pro at just $89. So first, taking the exterior tour, I really love what Thermaltake has done with the full mesh front panel that has a built-in dust filter, and both top and bottom rounded edges that add a bit of character. The chassis stands on tall and long feet, and while Thermaltake classifies this as a mid-tower, this is a full tower in our books given the wide and tall form. There are two optical bays at the front with the I/O panel right above with audio jacks, only a pair of USB 3 ports in a market where at least 4 USB ports is a standard, and PR buttons with an illuminated ring around the power button. I love the gigantic side panel window that hides nothing and super revealing, that can be extremely rewarding to showcase a sexy system and your hard work for cable management, and it should also act as an incentive to clean things up. Only problem here is how easy it is to scratch it. Now these marks you see here are from me running my nail gently across the corner. So you gotta be extra careful to maintain this in pristine condition, and this should also be a wake-up call for all case manufacturers, not just Thermaltake, as this is not the first time we've seen this happen. NZXT. So coming to the top, this is how you handle fan support. Huge thumbs up for large magnetic dust filters spanning the roof. And check this out, this massive array of flexible options. So we got triple 120s, triple 140s, and dual 200mm fans, and they realize the benefits of these mounting strips to eliminate any compatibility issues with top mounted radiators. And coming to the back, we get a set of water cooling holes, 8 PCI slots, a little hook to secure your peripherals to the case that's held in with a thumb screw from the inside, and the 120mm exhaust fan. There are also 2 bottom dust filters covering the entire floor, with the power supply dust filter easily removable from the back, although side removal would be more convenient. Plus the second dust filter is removable from the front, although requiring you to take off the front panel first. And again, side dust filter removal should become the standard. And with the front panel removed, we can take a look at our intake options. So 2 120mm fans are included with support for triple 120s and 140s as well. And I'm so happy to see Thermaltake, continue with these mounting strips, plus a very open frame design for maximum airflow. And to continue with the praise, the side panels swivel to open, so they are extremely easy to remove. No need to align any clips, just gently insert in the front and close like a car door. This is for both side panels as well, and thumb screws stay with the panel. And so far the V51 has many details worked out for airflow, dust filtration, and accessibility. But how are the internals? So let's get inside. The hard drive cage design is interesting. It is elevated and does not make contact with the floor. I think this is brilliant to avoid any extra parts like a cage base if you want to reposition any of the 2 other cages. Of course, they are modular, secured with thumb screws at the back and on the side, and you can install either of the cages higher for extra clearance at the bottom, as the V51 supports a 240 radiator on the floor. Furthermore, the optical cages are individually removable. For example, take away the top one for additional clearance for a longer 360mm radiator or a thicker setup with push-pull, while still have one optical bay in place. You could also remove the bottom one, install this 5¼ inch fan bracket, and you now have clearance for an additional fan at the front, allowing compatibility for 360 and even 420mm radiators. Now there are a total of 5 drive caddies with side SSD mount. To avoid flexing the plastic, these small clips pop out and insert back in once the mechanical drive is in place, and I like the system. Because of these clips though and side SSD mount, one must be removed to accommodate for the smaller drive, and this is why I always prefer centered SSD mount. Another annoyance here I noticed was with wiring. Connecting a power SATA is fine, as it's a straight power SATA along with a straight SATA data cable, but because of the frame and how far back the drive is, you can't even fit a 90-degree SATA cable for your drive. So how did this pass the design stage? Only way I found this to work if you attach the cable first and then push the drive cavity in, but that doesn't really look healthy for the cable. And also, if you remove all of the drive cages for water cooling, not all is lost, as we have 2 extra spots for the drives. They simply pop in place via supported clips, but it seems Thermaltake is a little bit challenged in the cable routing department, as there is very little room for the bottom drive caddy to pass any cables. And speaking of cable management, it is almost non-existent in the V51. There are only a few cable type points right beside the main rubber grommets, but that's it. So there's no way to clean up anything below the motherboard cutout, nor at the back where the 8-pin CPU cable is traveling. So this is totally not acceptable, and this alone stains the entire process that up to this point has been fairly seamless. It's a good thing though the side panels close like this to avoid any further difficulties. Having said that though, the internals look absolutely stunning, and I made sure to clean things up for that Windows showcase. There is an appropriate cutout for a micro ATX motherboard to pass front I/O cables, and such an open interior will for sure welcome enthusiast systems as well. There is an oversized cutout up top for routing fans, the 8-pin and other miscellaneous cables that for sure came in handy during our build. And so in conclusion, it is clear that Thermaltake is eager to truly compete within this $120 price bracket. And the V51 is a total winner on many fronts, like airflow and water cooling and dust filtration and internal modularity. But when the basics are ignored, like simple cable type points, or restrictive frame for wiring your drives, or easily scratchable window, I think it's time to make a priority list and make sure that no details are missed, as otherwise the V51 paves the way for Thermaltake to release a killer case, and they're definitely on the right track. And so this concludes this review. We hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe for our top 5 tech of 2014 video coming very soon. Like this video if you found it helpful. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.